Hi, welcome back everyone to the Protector Test Automation tutorial. So this tutorial is specifically for data-driven testing part 2. So whoever haven't watched this data-driven testing part 1, I will suggest that please check the part 1 of the data-driven test. And this will be specifically for Excel-based data-driven test designing. Okay. So let's proceed with the agenda. So in the last videos, part 1, we have seen how we can configure easily the common data, JSON data to configure our data-driven test for our Protector test automation. And this time we'll be utilizing, instead of JSON, we'll be using Excel to do the things. Okay. So let's proceed with the demo. So as if you remember in the last case, I have executed this one, TC01 marker registration. So basically I'm navigating to some website and clicking on the registration button where I'm putting all the information details of the users and click on submit and verifying the post registration responses. Okay, that I'm currently doing. And if the current website that I'm using, that is not an Angular specific website, so for that I'm using this one. Wait for Angular enables, I made it as a false, and ignore synchronization, I made it as a true. Okay, so last time we have seen that how easily we have configured the test data and this common data to configure pass the dynamic data in our application. So the data feeding was done from the JSON. So this time the common data will be remain same, because common data basically the same data, usually URL, app name, registrations, which will be common throughout the framework, automation framework of this particular applications. So common data will remain same. It's basically like a properties file you can consider for a Java app properties or some applications configuration properties file. So common data will be remain same. Okay, so whatever the data for URL, app name, registration, title, credential, password, DB, in case if you are using schema details, all these details, you'll put all the things into common data. And how to use common data, that we have seen earlier in my video, and if you haven't watched, let me just quickly show you. Tell you again, you can directly fetch it like this: browser params Mercury app name. Okay, so Mercury app name, registration titles, and whatever the common data you have to use, you just need to mention as a parameter in the protector config.js file. Okay, test data common data. Anyway, come to this Excel part. So in basically we'll be utilizing Excel. So instead of passing the data for our test, like TC01 is the first case, TC03, TC04 when we'll be executing, instead of passing like that from the JSON, we'll be directly passing from test data XLS. Okay, so let me show you this one, preview data, how the test data XLS looks like. Okay, so I think you can see what is the Excel looks like. Let me just open it from here. Yes, so if I just simply navigate protector test data, and this is the test data Excel. Okay, so I think it's already open. The sheet name I'm given as a PAT automation data. You can choose any name. Okay, so test case name is TC01, TC03, 04. This is where I have organized, and all the first name, last name, phone, email, I have all the data. Okay, if you can see, I have mentioned TC03 twice. Okay, so in case suppose you want to execute this particular TC03 test two times with two different types of data. Okay, so for this one is for Anthony Lopez and TC03 for John Cena. So that's why I mentioned TC03 twice. Okay, so it will be executed twice. Let me quickly go back. So this is my Excel that I'll be utilizing for data feeding. Okay, now to use Excel data, you need to have this one. For this I've created was generate data.js. It's additional JS JS file that I've written. So there is two way you can use that. I have mentioned you can create one dimensional JSON array and two dimensional JSON array. I'll be coming in details. So for using Excel for protector test based automation, you need XLSX. Okay, you need to import this one. Okay, so if you see my node modules, I have this module already with me, XLSX. Okay, and this XLSX module is already available in the node npm, so you can easily download npm install -g xlsx, it will be installed and downloaded to your system. Then copy to your project folder and import this module. Okay, then I also need the file system operations because I'm dealing with the Excel file. And what I'm doing after importing, I'm just reading the file. Where it's located, test data xls. From the root folder, it's under the test data, right? Test data folder. Okay, then I'm printing a sheet name. So what is the sheet name currently I'm using? PAT automation data. The sheet name I'm using. I'm passing the sheet name over here. Okay, once you pass the sheet name, so this worksheet will contain all the informations. So data will be xlsx.utility sheet to JSON. So it's converting the sheet to JSON. Okay, and then I'm putting some console log extracted. And this is how we need to use. So where new data equal to data.map function record, where new record, and we are creating this new record from the JSON. I'm not going into details, but basically you can check my code. I have already committed the code in GitHub. Simply I'm trying to convert using a map functions, data mapping functions, and converting one by one the Excel to JSON file. What I'm deleting the test name, because if you can see my generated data should contain only the first name, last name, phone, email, city, all those things, not this first column, right? Not this first column. It is not required. It should be as a header. So as an example, TC01, TC03, this is kind of like header, but it's not required anywhere in the test, right? So that's the reason I'm just after generating all these things, I'm deleting the record.test name column. Okay, then returning the enter new JSON. Once I'm getting the JSON, then I'm flushing the JSON object to a file. The file name is test.json file. Okay, so basically suppose let me delete everything. Okay, I've deleted everything. My test.json, if you open now, it should be blank, right? It should be blank. Let me close it again. Let me open test.json. It's blank. You don't have to worry about it. We have this test.excel. You update all the data over there, and we have generated data that we are using, and we are flushing the file over here. So once we are done with the generated.js file, then we need to execute it. For that, you can directly execute by the node. I have configured one batch file to execute that. This is my batch file. So easily you can configure execute the generated.js via node, but don't need to do that. Why not we create simply a batch file to execute the JS file? Okay, so in the configuration module, when you click on the generate test data.bat, okay, so simply it's executing the bat file, successfully executed. Once it's successfully executed, now if you go to the test data.json, you can see all the data got generated. And if you notice, see TC1, TC03 repeated twice, TC4, TC5 was blank. So the data generated TC1, TC03, TC03, TC4 and TC5 got blank. Okay, so basically TC4, so there is 5 JSON data got created. Okay, so TC03, I am using this TC03, this particular script. Inside I'm passing TC03 input data, first name, last name. Let me quickly execute it for. Okay, first data is for Anthony Jones. Okay, so the fact is that anyway we are passing using the JSON data for our project automation, but the thing, we don't have to spend time designing or feeding the data in the JSON, because it may look tough who doesn't know about the JSON syntaxes, all those things. So it's better that we deal with directly the Excel. Once we're done updating all the data in the Excel, we just click on the generate test data.bat, and this test data.json will be automatically generated. Okay, if you quickly run this, just a second. Yes, so it loaded the browser. It will navigate to the register link, and it will try to feed with the first set of data, which is Anthony. Anthony Lopez details we are giving, and city Paris, United States, sorry France, then Anthony 82, password, confirm password, then we are clicking on the submit button. So successful register, we have got the confirmation message, thank you for registering. Once it's done, it will click the home. Now let's try with the next set of data, which was for John. You can click, go to the register, and it will fit the data for John. So guys, that the same thing we have done in my last video. We are passing the data from the test data JSON. We created two JSON object for and feeding the data. So the single test was taking the two data and not executing it twice. Okay, so if you can have multiple rows of data, you can just simply maintain it this way, and your test will be executed with different types of data. So two tests successfully got executed, but this time exactly we have used utilize Excel to load all our data. There is some intermittent failure. First name is undefined. Okay, we need to check it later, but anyway the flow is successfully completed, as I can see. So we have seen how easily we can feed the data to our Excel data to this our automations. Another way, let me tell you, in general data, basically we are, if you can see, we are creating a JSON array. Okay, this is a we are having multiple JSON array. If you can notice, we can currently have TC01, then TC03, TC03. We have 5 data, right? 5 row, right? Just a second, let me close it. Sorry. Yes. So we have TC01, we have TC03, we have TC03, then we have TC04, TC05. We have five different types of row. Just a second. Yes, we have 5 rows. Now, in case if we have multiple test script, TC1, TC2, TC3, TC4, TC5, and you want to execute all the test script in a single go, one by one sequentially. So how you can do? Here I have used TC03. Instead, you will directly do TC0 star or TC star. Okay, to execute all the script. So maybe if you want to execute all the test script, okay, then it's better to use the one-dimensional JSON array pattern. Let me quickly show you. So in general data, so currently the format is like this, right? We have two specific array object of the JSON. Now let me just mark this one. And we'll be using this shortcut is Alt Shift A, I guess. Yes, and this is Alt Shift A. Let me update the data. Okay. Suppose I'm reading for 2 TC02. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 3 data. For so specific TC03, we have only 1 data. So this basically will generate the test data like this. Okay. You know, if you notice, let me just generate the JSON first. You will have to understand. It's generated. Just a second. Let me open it. Yes. So it's got generated. So here you can see we have exactly one row. I mean one object. let's say in the JSON array we have actually one JSON content. Inside that we have all the inner content, right? So that's why I have mentioned over here. So the JSON array contain actually one record, and inside record we have multiple records, okay? But for the earlier one, for every record you have a different element, okay? So this JSON have exactly having one JSON array content, and one content having TC1, TC2, TC3, TC4, okay? Now if you want to execute all your tests sequentially, so about TC1, TC2, TC3 you want to execute and you trigger it together. So TC1 will fetch all the data, then TC2 will execute fetch all the data, TC3 will execute all the data, okay? The same it will do. So now if I try to execute it, if I try to execute the same script again, it will just use the TC03 data, which is for John Cena, okay? So actual in the project and execution environment, when you will be working on multiple script to priority wise, sequential wise to trigger, then this will be very helpful. But if you need only one set of one script or some specific script need to be done for different dimension of data, then the earlier one will be useful, okay? Basically two things has been configured in the code, and you can just check both way. So John Cena has provided the details, then let's click on submit. And dear John Cena, thank you for registering. It's successfully completed, okay? It came back to the home page and it will close the browser. Anyway, so the test script passed successfully, and we have exactly 51 seconds it took, and it's been completed, okay? So see how it's easy, like to configure our test, I mean to fetch the test data. This is our test data basically. So test name, username, we are considering the test name TC1, TC2, TC3 this way for our mapping, test script mapping. So in the instead of if you mention over here the enter script name TC03 underscore registration, okay, here. So here I have to also mention TC03 registration dot first name, then TC03 registration dot last name, okay, same thing. So I just keep it sorted. So how it's easy to mention and feed all the data in the Excel, just one click to generate the JSON, and you don't have to worry about it, and this trigger you run, it will just run successfully. So anyway, if you want to see the result, suppose the result you want I've executed earlier so the last time I have executed for Anthony, right? Registration process was Anthony was successful, okay? Second I was doing for John Cena, right? So John Cena was also successful, okay? So one script if you trigger multiple times, then it's also successfully getting captured. And the latest result basically, if we show this one latest result, let me open it from here. So the latest result should be having here, yes, 10:46 p.m. yeah, this one just now currently I've executed. So let me just script result, open in another browser, Google Chrome. So this just now I've executed, as we can see, registration process for John Cena, it will be successful, okay? Yeah, John Cena, and all the details update was done, okay? So this is the current result that I've just executed. Anyway, so we have seen how it's easy to configure our test and do the data-driven testing in our protected automation framework. So we can either feed our data directly in the test data JSON and common data JSON, which will be common, or we can choose to feed our data in the test data XLX, and we don't have to worry about any JSON format or JSON data, okay? Inherently it will be fed to the automation suite at the runtime, okay? So this is how we can perform the data driven testing in our protected test automation framework. So in case if you want to know more, I would highly suggest that please check the code. The link has been, GitHub link has been shared with the descriptions. And still it has some concern, please comment down in the below section and let me know. Okay, and if you like this video and if it is help you anywhere, so please do not forget to support and subscribe my channel. So have a good day everyone. Bye bye. Thank you.